and we're going to switch gears to something that was in theaters, which is Khuda Hafiz Chapter 2. And I'm going to give it to Michael to tell you guys what it was about.
Yep, so Khuda Hafiz Chapter 2 is picking up at the end of where the first movie was at. And here we have Samir and his wife. They're trying to essentially live their life. If you watch the first one, you know that there was a lot going on, that essentially Samir had to come in and save the day. And now he's trying to live a normal life with his wife. And they adopted a daughter named Nandini. However, all is not good, as Nandini is actually kidnapped. And Samir has to essentially walk away. He tells his wife that he's not coming back until he punishes everyone who's responsible for his daughter's kidnapping. So, you know, right away, whenever I was watching this film, I was getting the idea that this is the Bollywood John Wick franchise. You know, what I really liked about this movie as a whole is like the way it was able to capture great thriller moments. So, you know, you could really tell that the team that was on this movie had experience with really kind of, I would say, slow cooking the suspense all the way until you get to a very, very explosive, you know, either fight scene, action scene, or whatever it may be. And they're able to do that multiple times throughout the film very, very, very well. I also, you know, like I said, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I really think that this is kind of, you know, developing a character for himself. I really liked it. Think that if you can see it in theaters, that you will definitely benefit from it, because watching this in the theaters as well with the surround sound going on, you know, whenever you're in those intense moments, you're definitely, you know, in the moment, in the suspense, you know, with the character. So overall, I really, really liked it. Don't know if Em or Shreya have any secondary thoughts.
Absolutely. So I think if you guys haven't read the review, be sure to go to Daisies.live to read it, because we actually gave it a 9 out of 10 stars. And that's because this story definitely deserved it. Exactly as Michael had said, we are following the story again of Samir and Nargis. Do I say Nargis or Nargi? Like is the S pronounced?
Nargis.
Nargis. Okay, perfect. So they adopted this little daughter, Nandini, and the people that actually kidnap her end up being like their landlady's son or something like that. So she has like they have a landlady and her goons come up and pick up their daughter and then one other kid after they're coming back from school. And the incredibly sad part is the kid later dies because she's brutally raped and then murdered, of course. And unable to completely deal with the loss of their daughter, who has, you know, just come to be the type, I guess you could say, like the glue that's holding this couple together. After the brutal effects of the first movie, they're starting to get over their trauma. These new parents are starting to finally find hope. She's gone. The wife leaves. Nargis just leaves because she's like, I can't handle anything bad. I can't handle anything more going on in my life. I just cannot do this. And tells Samir that she will not come back until he punishes every single person who's responsible for his daughter's death. And this unfortunately comes out because it turns out that in the first movie, if you guys didn't watch it, no one exposes some flesh traders, which flesh traders, by the way, is the sexual trafficking exploitation circle that's happening in like the parts of the movie. And based off of that, Nargis and Samir are kind of like facing the after effects of it. Basically, they're left to clean up after that mess of Noman. And, you know, just when they like start to feel hope, like something else completely guts them. With that being said, I think the emotions are so high because the script is so deep and the actors were phenomenal. Like it takes a whole different level to portray grief and portray it so well. And I want to say, like, I personally think that the actors were what sold the movie more than anything. Like they already had a phenomenal script to work off of, but they were just so gifted in presenting their story with layers and layers and layers of PTSD. It was beautiful. What did you think, Em?
So I have to say this. Vidyut Jamwal is the biggest action hero of Bollywood today. You have to give it to the guy. Big though. And this movie, I swear to God, no one was expecting this to be. I went and wanted to watch it as like, okay, I'm not expecting anything from this one. I watched The Hakud, I watched Hero Banti, and those were supposed to be big action movies. I'm not really expecting anything because I remember watching Khuda Hafiz 1, and that had released on Hotstar, I remember, in the middle of pandemic. So I was like, okay, that was great. He went around killing people, great, and it had great action sequences. He's a great action hero. But this surpassed every damn standard that I had in my head. And I'll tell you why. Number one, the action sequences, the choreography of the action sequences, phenomenal. I did not expect it. The cinematography, the entire choreography of some of the sequences was so out of the park. There's this entire rain sequence, action sequence, shot in the rain. I swear to God, I haven't watched a better action sequence in my entire life. It is so well designed. That entire set design, it is beautifully done. So that's one. Secondly, the actors chosen to do the various parts. There's this new villain called Danish Khan, who's this baddie inside the prison. He's a bad one. Shiva Chadha as this, she's almost Shakespearean bad. She is so bad that you feel like going down to her and say, lady, where have you been? Where is this bad thing from you coming from? Which fountain have you had all this venom from that you're oozing it out on screen with? She is the core of the movie and she spews it out so well. And this entire chemistry that she creates of everything evil around her on screen is just phenomenal. Vidyut Jamwal, I don't know if he's really 10 on 10 on the emotional sequences, but action sequences, nobody can beat him. When he punches, he punches. I have not seen anybody punch as well as Vidyut Jamwal does on screen. He is phenomenal, just phenomenal. So some of the shots are so good. It is just technically one of the best movies that I have seen. I was not expecting it. Now, there are sequences shot in Lucknow, so the back alleys of Lucknow that are so well shot that they're mind-blowingly well shot. You have to some of the scenes are you have to watch it to believe some of the scenes. And obviously you'll have to go to Michael, you can in the middle of Missouri, you probably won't be able to do it, but when it hits a streamer, you have to watch those sequences. Those scenes are cinematic excellence. Then I have to tell you the music, the choreography, the way the music is enmeshed with the action sequences. The music of this movie is just another next level. The music of the first movie, the first Khuda Hafiz 1 gave us some really good tunes. Khuda Hafiz 2 music is phenomenal. Some of the music is so well enmeshed, so well put together with the sequences, with the story, that it hits you at a very different pace altogether. It's a very different pace to hit you. It hits you emotionally and it twists you inside. Some of the songs twist you inside. It just feeds your soul. It is really, really well done. The director of photography is a guy called Jitin Harmeet Singh. And sometimes you feel that this guy's shooting two different movies because there is this India that he shot, and then right after they follow the bad guys to Egypt, and then it takes you to Giza, and she shoots the desert in Giza, and that's just a totally different terrain, and whoa, it just takes up. So just did not expect this movie to be this good, but if you're a Vidyut Jamwal fan, if you like action movies, you like action sequences, fast-paced, there is meat here, there is a story, it's not stupid, there is a reason why things are happening, there's a pace to it, the music is good. So if there is an action movie that has been made in 2022 that has all the elements of a blockbuster, this is the one. And That's my word.